Well, Paolo, exquisite Japanese culinary creations recently top-billed the menu of some of the country's food and wine connoisseurs. Caroline Howard joined them for this unique gustatory adventure.
We're here at the Umu restaurant at the Dusetani in Makati, and we're going for a gustatory adventure steeped in Japanese tradition. Mr. Uy, what is the hotel known for in terms of its food offerings?
Well, we are Dusetani Manila, and we are a Thai hotel chain. So our signature restaurant would be our Benjarong. It's called Benjarong Royal Thai Restaurant. So we are known for that. But aside from that, for the Westerners, we also have an Italian restaurant called Tosca. And our all-day dining, which is basics, where we serve buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We also have another Asian restaurant, which is called Umu. This is our Japanese restaurant. It's a big restaurant. It varies in terms of its areas. We have a sushi in the Robata area. We have a main dining, can seat 40. We have private rooms, actually 2 sets, a tatami room, which is the typical Japanese private room. And we have another one, which is like a Western style, we call it pavilions. And we also have teppanyaki tables. So it's a wide variety, but you can be rest assured that the authenticity with Chef Fukata's expertise and the flavors.
Now you're serving a Kaiseki dinner for the Chaine event. Talk about that tradition and what's in store.
Tonight's event would be the Chaine de Rotisseurs. It is 100% authentic because of our Japanese chef, Chef Hiro Fukata. But there would be some slight twist to it. We're following the regular Kaiseki, which is for tonight. We will have a 7-course. But he had injected some, you may call it a fusion, some new and original dishes from his creative mind. If I may mention, for example, chawan mushi, which is a steamed custard. He injected or put into it a blue cheese as an added ingredient. Normally it would be like seafood. We've tried to put a variety into the menu. Well, normally the Japanese are known for a lot of seafood. No? So of course we will have that variety of fish from, there's a Japanese sea bass. This one is really imported from Japan. Kaiseki, for the Japanese, it's really an artwork that involves, aside from the food plating, the service as well. It has to be in sequence. From appetizer, we'll have a clear soup, there would be a salad, then a couple of the sashimi, sushi, then you have the chawan mushi, then the main entree, then after the entree comes the rice. The second course, there will be a miso soup before the dessert. And they call that the tomewan. Tomewan means ending. That's the signal that the courses are already ending.
But probably also to cleanse the palate.
I guess that, yes, that's one as well, before you go to the dessert.
That's right.
And enjoy the rest of the evening.
Chef Hiro tells us about the origins of the Kaiseki dinner.
In Japan, Kaiseki means 2 things. One thing, for monk, their food is only little, so sometimes they're not full, hungry, so they put warm stone. So kai means chest in pocket. Seki means stones. Second means kai, meat. Then seki, sitting, gather styles.
So the second would mean a gathering.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yes.
And that's what you're having tonight.
Yes.
Tell us about the items you've lined up for the Chaine gathering.
Tonight, we have a Kaiseki menu. Then now we cook for you 3 kinds of appetizer, then blue cheese chawan mushi. This is my original recipe also.
Chef Hiro gives us a preview of the course, beginning with the chawan mushi.
This is chawan mushi sauce, the salmon belly, blue cheese, shimeji, Japanese small mushroom, then bubu arare. I put blue cheese, salmon belly, then Japanese mushroom. Then I put chawan mushi sauce.
This would be the egg custard eventually. And this will be steamed.
After 10 minutes, the custard is cooked. Chef Hiro makes the sauce by adding salt to some dashi stock, followed by mirin, light soy sauce, and dissolved guzu powder as a thickening agent. He then pours the sauce over the custard and tops it with white pepper and rice puffs for added texture. Chef Hiro then proceeds to making the appetizer trio, beginning with the red snapper with vinegar jelly sauce. Chef Hiro wraps some uni in a sashimi slice of red snapper and lines up several in a small cup.
This is a Japanese jelly sauce, vinegar and dashi stock, then Japanese soy sauce. Then I put, after make Japanese vinegar sauce, I put zerachi.
This would serve like a sauce for the red snapper and the sea urchin, but using it as a gelatin form.
The potato rolled shrimp is deep fried, and with a dash of salt, the shrimp is done. Finally, the grilled Japanese beef is marinated with miso paste, sliced into cubes, and lathered with Korean butter and topped with pine nuts. Here we have the chawanmushi. Ordinarily, what you taste in the chawanmushi is really the flavor of the egg custard as well as the mushrooms. This time though, with the blue cheese, I'm curious how this tastes. We're used to having blue cheese with our pizzas, crackers, grapes, and wine. But here with the chawanmushi, it adds an unusual flavor and yet a welcome note. Now I'm going for the appetizer trio, starting with the sea urchin wrapped in the snapper and the vinegar Japanese sauce. It's the sea urchin flavor that actually pops out along with the vinegar, the Japanese vinegar. Now let's try this ebi obarage age, or fried potato rolled shrimp. That was a play on flavor as well as texture. Now let's try the Wagyu beef. As always, the Wagyu beef never fails, and with a hint of pine nut along with that creamy consistency, it's certainly a winner. This is the fourth Kaiseki dinner of the Chaine group, which members admit is a distinct and enriching opportunity for fellowship over specially made gustatory creations.
It is probably the oldest club in the world, and it's made up of aficionados and professionals in the food and wine industry. And we come together to try to uplift the standards of different establishments to those which we believe have been set forth by our club since 1950 when it was reborn. Actually, our club was started by the sainted Louis IX back in the 13th century. So you see, that's what the 1248. We're probably the only club in the world with permission from the French government to use this royal seal.
I would imagine this comes with not just a reputation, but the responsibility.
Certainly, a responsibility to uphold and promote la culture de la table, what we call la culture de la table. It's the idea that coming together at table should be something of a genuine, how would you say, form of camaraderie.
Along with great ceremony, what better way is there to enjoy a Japanese meal than with traditional Japanese sake?
This is the regular sake here in this big bottle, and we're serving it both warm, which is the traditional way of serving sake, and cold, which is not so common way. The second bottle is a very special sake made from a very special kind of rice that has been polished so that you really get into the inner part of the rice itself. This is a personal favorite of mine. This is a sparkling sake. I personally think this will pair very well with, for example, the sushi and the sashimi. We're serving this very sweet peach flavored sake to complement and enhance the flavor of the sake flavored ice cream. Japanese food is very difficult to pair with wines because the wines tend to overpower the food because the food is very delicate.
To address that complication, members and guests are encouraged to come with their own bottle of wine to pair with the food. Bonding over whatever food and wine is satisfying as it is enriching. And what better way to do it than in the company of food and wine connoisseurs who appreciate the best that culinary experience can offer. And as the fine meal comes to a close, the memorable experience courtesy of Chef Hiro and his staff is met with a warm reception. Well, arigato gozaimasu. That will do it for this edition of Taste Buds. I'm Caroline Howard. Remember, life's a treat. Till next time.